Let's jump right into the 5 most common organic gardening mistakes. The number 1 mistake I see new gardeners make, the one responsible for more sad plants than any pest or disease, is improper watering. And almost always, it's a classic case of killing them with kindness. I'm talking about overwatering. We're conditioned to think more is better. We see a little wilting in the hot afternoon sun, and we panic and grab the hose. We water on a strict schedule every single day, whether the plants need it or not. But here's what's really happening underground. When soil is constantly soaked, the roots can't breathe. Healthy soil needs air pockets, and when those are always filled with water, you're literally drowning your plant. This leads to root rot, where roots turn black, mushy, and just stop working. The ironic result? An overwatered plant looks wilted and sad, just like an underwatered one, because its damaged roots can't absorb a thing. You'll see yellowing leaves, especially on the lower parts of the plant, and the stems might feel soft and squishy. The other side of the coin is shallow, frequent watering. A quick sprinkle every day just encourages the roots to hang out near the surface, waiting for their daily sip. This creates a weak, needy root system that has zero resilience when a real heat wave hits. The fix is wonderfully simple and costs nothing. Stop watering on a schedule and start watering when the soil tells you to. It's time to get to know your soil with the finger test. It's the most reliable moisture meter on the planet. Just stick your index finger about 2 inches deep into the soil near your plant's base. If it feels dry at your fingertip, it's time to water. If you feel any moisture at all, walk away and check again tomorrow. When you do water, water deeply and less often. Instead of a 5-minute sprinkle every day, give your garden a long, slow soak once or twice a week, depending on the weather. You want to moisten the soil about 6 inches deep. This encourages roots to grow deep down in search of that moisture, building a strong, resilient foundation. And pro tip, always try to water the soil, not the leaves. Wet foliage is an open invitation for fungal diseases, especially overnight. Master this one skill, and you'll raise plants that are tougher, more self-sufficient, and way less prone to disease. You'll use less water, spend less time holding a hose, and get healthier, more productive plants as your reward. If watering is the most common action new gardeners get wrong, then neglecting the soil is the most common mindset that leads to failure. We get so excited about the plants that we forget about the world they actually have to live in. So many beginners think, dirt is dirt. We either try to plant directly into our backyard clay that's as hard as concrete, or we run to the store and grab the cheapest bags of garden soil we can find. That's like trying to build a mansion on a foundation of quicksand. Your backyard soil is often compacted, nutrient-poor, and totally lacking the microscopic life a healthy garden needs. And honestly, those cheap bagged soils often aren't much better. The result is that your plants struggle from day one. They're weak, stunted, and their leaves might be pale or yellow simply because they're starving. These nutrient-starved plants are also a flashing neon sign for every pest and disease in the neighborhood. I want you to adopt a new mantra. Feed the soil, not the plants. This is the heart and soul of organic gardening, and the single most important ingredient for feeding your soil is compost. Compost is decomposed organic matter, and it is pure black gold for your garden. It does everything. It provides a slow, steady release of nutrients that won't burn your plants. It fixes soil structure, breaking up heavy clay and helping sandy soil hold water. Most importantly, it feeds the billions of beneficial microbes, fungi, and earthworms that make up the soil food web. These little guys are your invisible gardening partners, working 24/7 to deliver nutrients right to your plant's roots. Your mission is to get as much organic matter into your soil as you can. Before you plant anything, mix a generous amount of high-quality compost into your garden beds. A good starting point for a new bed is about 30% compost to 70% topsoil. And don't stop there. Each season, top dress your beds with another inch or two of compost. When you focus on building healthy living soil, honestly, everything else in the garden just gets easier. Your plants will have a balanced diet on tap, making them stronger and more resilient. The soil will hold water more effectively, so you'll end up watering less. You'll also create a thriving ecosystem that naturally fights off pests and diseases. Investing in your soil is, hands down, the single best thing you can do for the long-term success of your garden. This next mistake happens before a single seed ever touches the dirt, and it can doom a garden from the very start. It's choosing the wrong location. We tend to put our gardens where it's convenient for us, or maybe where we think it looks nice, without first thinking about what our plants actually need to survive. The biggest factor here is sunlight. Most vegetables, especially the ones that give us delicious fruits like tomatoes, peppers, squash, and cucumbers, are total sun worshippers. They need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct, unfiltered sunlight every single day. And you know, direct sun means the sun's rays are hitting the leaves without being blocked by trees, fences, or your house. I've seen so many new gardeners pick a spot that seems sunny for a couple of hours in the morning, only for it to be in deep shade the rest of the day. Without enough sun, plants can't photosynthesize properly. This leads to weak, leggy stems as they stretch for light, sad-looking growth, and a tiny harvest. You might get a few pathetic little tomatoes instead of the bounty you were dreaming of. Another classic location blunder is putting the garden too far from a water source. If you have to drag a hose 200 feet or lug dozens of heavy watering cans across the yard, that simple chore becomes a huge pain. You'll be far more likely to put off watering, and we already know where that leads. Before you build anything, you need to become a sun detective. Spend a full day sun mapping your yard. Go outside every hour or two and make a note of which areas are in full sun. And remember, the sun's path changes with the seasons. A spot that's sunny in April might be shaded by a big leafy tree in July. Find the location that gets the most sun, ideally 8 hours or more, and make that your prime garden real estate. Once you've found your sunny spot, think about logistics. How close is the hose spigot? Can you get water there easily? Planning for convenient water access from the get-go will save you so many headaches. The best garden location serves your plants first and your convenience second. By giving your plants the sun they crave, you're providing the raw fuel they need for amazing growth and production. You'll get stronger stems, healthier leaves, and way more food to eat. And by making water access easy, you're setting yourself up for a successful and enjoyable season. By the way, if you're having some aha moments and learning something new, do me a favor and click that subscribe button. It really helps this channel grow and reach more gardeners just like you. I truly appreciate the support. Now we arrive at one of the most transformative yet weirdly overlooked steps in organic gardening: mulching. I know it feels like an extra optional chore, but I promise you, it is an absolute game changer. Nature hates bare ground. If you leave the soil around your plants exposed, you're basically rolling out the welcome mat for two things gardeners really despise: water evaporation and weeds. The sun and wind will bake the surface of your soil, causing it to dry out incredibly fast and forcing you to water constantly. And that bare soil? It's prime real estate for every weed seed that blows into your yard. Before you know it, you're locked in a constant, back-breaking battle, pulling weeds that are stealing water and nutrients from your veggies. Even when folks do mulch, they sometimes use the wrong stuff. A common mistake is using fresh wood chips or sawdust on vegetable beds. As these fresh, carbon-heavy materials decompose, the bacteria doing the work need a lot of nitrogen. So they temporarily steal it from your soil, leaving your plants yellow, hungry, and honestly wondering what they did wrong. From now on, make mulching a non-negotiable final step every single time you plant something. The best organic mulches are the ones that will break down over time and feed the soil. My personal favorites are shredded leaves, straw. Just make sure it's straw, not hay, since hay is packed with seeds. Or even just a thick layer of finished compost. It's really simple. After your plants are in the ground and you've watered them in, go ahead and apply a 2 to 3 inch thick layer of mulch over the entire bed. Just be careful not to pile it right up against the plant stems. Leave a small 1-inch collar around the base to allow for air circulation and prevent rot. The benefits here are honestly huge. A good layer of mulch acts like a sponge, dramatically slowing down water evaporation. That means less watering for you and, of course, happier plants. It smothers and prevents the vast majority of weeds from ever even starting, saving you hours of work. Mulch also regulates soil temperature, keeping roots cooler in the summer and a bit warmer during those cold snaps. And finally, as it slowly decomposes, it adds valuable organic matter back into your soil, continuing that feed the soil cycle. It's seriously one of the most powerful and time-saving tools you have. This final mistake is born from pure, unadulterated enthusiasm. I see it every single year. It's the desire to grow everything all at once, which leads to big problems with spacing and timing. First up is overcrowding. You look at these tiny little seedlings or small seeds and it seems impossible they'll ever fill the space. So you tuck them in nice and close, trying to maximize every square inch. But here's the deal. Those little plants are programmed to grow to a specific size. When they're planted on top of each other, they're forced into a brutal competition for sunlight, water, and nutrients. This battle royale leads to stunted plants and, ironically, a smaller total harvest. Even worse, that dense jungle of leaves traps humidity and blocks airflow, creating the perfect breeding ground for fungal diseases like powdery mildew. The second part of this is planting everything at the same time. You sow all your lettuce seeds on one day, and for one glorious week in July, you have more lettuce than your entire neighborhood can eat. Then, it's all gone. We call this the boom and bust harvest, and it's a classic rookie move. The solution is written right on the back of your seed packet or plant tag. That little line that says space plants 18 inches apart? That's not a suggestion, it's a critical instruction. Trust it. Get out a measuring tape and give your plants the personal space they need. I know it will look ridiculously empty at first, but in a few weeks when everything fills in, you will be so glad you did. To solve the boom and bust problem, you need to embrace succession planting. It sounds fancy, but it just means instead of planting your whole row of beans at once, you plant a small section, wait 2 or 3 weeks, then plant another small section right next to it. By staggering your plantings, you get a continuous, manageable harvest over a much longer period. This works great for fast-growing crops like lettuce, radishes, beans, and beets. It's also smart to learn the difference between cool season and warm season crops, so you don't accidentally plant things at the wrong time, like trying to grow spinach in the dead of summer, which will just cause it to give up and bolt. By respecting plant spacing, you allow each plant to reach its full potential, which gives you healthier plants and a bigger total yield than if you'd crammed them together. With better airflow, you'll also see way fewer disease problems. And by using succession planting, you turn your garden from a one-hit wonder into a steady, reliable source of fresh food for months on end. So, let's recap. The 5 biggest mistakes are improper watering, neglecting your soil, bad site selection, skipping mulch, and finally, ignoring spacing and timing. Every single one of these comes from a good place. But now you have the knowledge to turn those good intentions into a truly thriving organic garden. Remember, every gardener makes mistakes. I still do. It's all part of the learning process. The key is to observe your plants, learn from them, and be patient with yourself and your garden. This is a journey, not a destination, and these lessons are the stepping stones to a fantastic harvest. What was your biggest aha moment from this list? Is there a mistake you now realize you've been making? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And be sure to subscribe for more simple, actionable organic gardening tips to help you grow with confidence. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening.